What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. On the screen, you'll see all of my socials. If you could make sure that you could give those a follow for me. So in particular, you just make sure that you are following the YouTube stuff. So make sure you're subscribed, your notifications are turned on. You're commenting, hyping the video, all of that kind of good stuff. Just make sure that you're putting out as much information as you possibly can to help the algorithm fly up and people watch the videos. We're also on all of your podcast apps as well. So Apple Podcasts and also Spotify as well. So if you are listening to the audio version, please make sure that you are liking, because again, that just helps pump it out to everybody. So before I get into today's video, I just wanted to say a big thank you for everybody that tuned in to watch the pod that I did with Jer on my channel, and just the overall sort of really good support that I've gotten from it, both on the YouTube channel, but also as well on the podcast side of stuff as well. It's a very, very much a removal from the norm in terms of the normal type of content that I do. It's a bit more long form content. So the first one, a proper one that I did was with Big Lou. That was really well received, and this one with Jer has been really well received. It's probably one of the top videos that I've done for a few months now, and also as well in terms of keeping people engaged in a video. People stayed and watched it a lot longer, which is a really pleasing thing to see, and just gives me a nice little barometer in terms of, you know, what to do content wise and the different types of information to put out there, and that you guys like it. So just thank you for the support as ever. You know, I'm just a normal middle-aged man that has an affinity and a love for the club, his Boytown club that he's always been, you know, wanting to see do well, and you guys let me talk about it. So I just really appreciate it, and you support what I do. Some of you support it, some of you don't like what I do. That's absolutely fine. Nobody has to agree with everybody 100% of the time. The world would be massively boring if that was actually the case. So today's video, from a title point of view, as you can see, is all about VAR and just the state of VAR. And I'm not letting this be what's the right way of saying it? I'm not going to let this be this is a woe is me Leeds United side of things. This is across the entire sphere of fans within the Premier League and VAR. And it's no surprise. There was the FSA's little tweet that came up where they wanted people to just obviously give their opinion on VAR and what they kind of thought about it and how they're feeling about VAR. I think it is fair to say that everybody at this current moment in time doesn't like VAR in its current iteration, doesn't like a lot of things about it and the way that it actually works. And it's in a very annoying state of affairs, to say the least. I mean, when you look at it from a headline point of view, over however many number of game weeks that there've been at least 18 errors. Then you look at the I forget the name of the group that come out with information when things have gone wrong or things haven't been. They've gone back and looked at it retrospectively, and you know, I use Leeds as the example for this. We should have had the penalty against Sunderland. Gabby Goodmanson should never have been sent off. That's been confirmed now, absolutely 100% confirmed. So there's almost that argument there where you can turn around and say, well, they've just cost us a certain number of points. What's the point in telling us now? Because there's nothing that we can do to redress this. This is so much after the fact, there's nothing that we can do about it. So Henry Winter put a piece out this morning, and I know I'm late to the party, but I thought I'd talk about it, saying that the Premier League fans deliver damning verdict on VAR. 75% of the 8,000 fans, so a decent subsection of fans across the entire gamut. So I think it was 50% of the fans were match going and 50% of the fans were people that obviously consume the content on the TV. So they were polled by the Football Supporters Association, didn't support the use of VAR. Too long, it's too forensic, too much of a joy killer, and findings have been shared with the Premier League and PGMO. 92% of the fans surveyed agreed that VAR has removed the spontaneous joy of goal celebrations. 82% of those fans strongly agreed with that. We've all been in that situation where the goal's been scored, and I've been at the ground. I've been very, very fortunate this season. I've been able to go to quite a number of games this season. And it is true. A goal gets scored, and the first thing that you're immediately doing is you're looking to the linesman to see if he's putting his flag up, and then you're waiting about 30 seconds, and then you're looking at the big board to see if it's going to VAR for any particular reason about either a possible offside or a possible handball or a possible infringement or anything of that manner. And it's like a great big fun sponge. It just sucks the enjoyment out of the game. You can't... That kind of unbridled joy that we all have as fans, you can't seem to do that anymore because you're worried about what it's going to be doing from a decision point of view. Is it going to go one way? Is it going to go the other? It's just absolutely infuriating. Henry Winter goes on to say that 85% of match-going fans strongly disagreed that VAR decisions are generally resolved in a reasonable amount of time, and that's echoed by 83% of those watching on TV. Now, I'm going to use Leeds as an example because I can only go off what I've seen with my own eyes and how that's actually worked. When the handball for Sunderland was given against Ampadu, it took them 6 minutes to come up to the conclusion that there was a clear and obvious error and that the penalty needed to be given. For me, if you're not seeing it and the people at Stockley Park and the referee are looking at the same video and they're not seeing that within the first 20 seconds and it takes 18 multiple angles to look at something before you've got to the decision of, yeah, that's not right, it's not clear and obvious. Only 18% of match-going fans only 18% of match-going fans agreed that VAR has improved the overall accuracy of refereeing decisions. We all know now that referees are absolutely shit scared to make a decision in case it gets overruled, in case their professional integrity doesn't look right, all of that kind of things. 72% are concerned about the expansion of VAR beyond its current remit. So that's where they're going to be looking at retrospective yellow cards, looking at corners, that type of stuff. It's already encroaching on the game itself. I mean, we've got this season alone, the ball is only ever in play at this moment in time for an average of about 52 minutes per match of a 90-minute game, potentially a 100-minute game when you factor in extra time for the end of the first half and the end of the second half. 50 minutes when the ball's in play. So I can understand that feeling. 79% strongly disagree with the suggestion. Sorry, my screen went blank. Where were we? 79% strongly disagree with the suggestion that the match-going experience is better with VAR. I've just explained that. It isn't. It just isn't. It just takes the fun out of it completely. 67% of people surveyed strongly agreed that they preferred watching games that are played without VAR to games with VAR. Jer touched on this on his video today. I've said it myself as well. You say, tongue-in-cheek, that you miss playing in the Championship because you don't have to worry about VAR. If a goal goes in, you can celebrate it. You can, have that unbridled joy, that passion, everything else that goes with it. You just can't do that in the Premier League because there's too many things that could go wrong. We've seen how long it takes them to do the offside thing. Why can't they just do an offside straight away? Why do they have to wait until, 20 seconds later when the ball's in the back of the net and then the linesman waves his flag? I know that's not a VAR issue, but it's part and parcel of it, isn't it? It's ridiculous. 84% of people surveyed strongly support goal line technology. Makes sense. The reason, it's not difficult to understand why they support it. It's instantaneous. Instantaneous. Within a second, it's done. Probably with even less time of that, it's done. And it's something that is fact 100% and it can't be argued with. The issue that we have with VAR at this moment in time is that when you're taking 6 minutes to come to a conclusion, you're using your interpretation of what you're seeing. So using cold hard facts are then coming out of it completely. 34% of people were strongly opposed to the idea of a challenge system, which they're looking at it as 2 per game. So something can happen and then the ref, then like the manager or somebody can almost do a timeout. Let's just challenge that. Let's just make it completely like basketball. I agree with that. I don't want to see that. I find it'll be another thing that will just stop the spectacle that is football, and the ball will be in play for a less amount of time, similar to what it was before. It's another thing that's just infuriating. It then goes on to conclude, these findings back up the FSA's previous survey in 2021, where fans expressed misgivings about the introduction of VAR, says Thomas Concannon. I think I've pronounced that right. We are the FSA Premier League network manager. The vast majority are reporting the same concerns 5 years on. The loss of spontaneity when celebrating goals and an overall worsening of the match-going experience. We've all talked about it. When you sat waiting for minutes for something to be decided, it's not right. We have shared the survey results with the Premier League and PGMO and look forward to discussing its findings with them. Fans surveyed of all Premier League's clubs in all ages, so from under 18s to 65 plus. So they've got an absolutely brilliant sort of cross-section of everybody that goes to football games. And then conversely, this is the bit that really pisses me off. I say, the Premier League defends its... Harry Winter then goes on to say about this. The Premier League defends its use of VAR, says technology is less intrusive, absolute bollocks, in Premier League than other European leagues, including UCL. Argues that its research indicates fans are largely in favour of keeping VAR but improving the way it is used. Talk about burying your heads in the sand there, boys. Responding to Football Supporters Association's survey of 3/4 of fans not wanting VAR, Premier League spokesman says the Premier League recognises the importance of minimising the impact of VAR on the supporter experience. Hang on, you just said in the previous thing that it's it's less intrusive. So it either is or it isn't. Make your minds up there, boys. Since the introduction of VAR improvement plan at the start of the 24-25 season, the League and PGMO have implemented in-stadium referee announcements and more proactive communications, while there has also been the introduction of semi-automatic offside technology, all designed to improve clarity, speed and communication around key decisions. Again, the penalty at Leeds United. Why did it take 6 minutes to make that decision? It's not because it's cold, hard, light of day facts. It's because you've got a group of people interpreting or interpretating, is that right? I don't know, what they are seeing. It's that simple. VAR delivers more correct decisions in recent seasons. There have been around 100 correct VAR overturns per season, instances where goals would otherwise have been incorrectly awarded or disallowed, or red cards or penalties missed or wrongly given. I only need to speak about all of the apologies that Leeds United have had this season alone in decisions and errors that have been made. And that's just one Premier League football club as well. That's not every other Premier League football club that we're talking about. The Premier League works closely with the PGMO to continually improve the operation of VAR with the aim of ensuring minimal interference in matches wherever possible. The league applies a high threshold for VAR intervention, with the referee's call taking precedence. As a result, VAR is less intrusive in the Premier League than in other European leagues, including the Champions League, where VAR intervenes almost twice as often. Again, 6 minutes to make a decision on a handball is too long. The fact that it's not black and white facts, which is what it should be, like the goal line technology is, it either is over the line or it isn't. You're either offside or you're not. When you've got more than one person looking at a situation, you're looking at a spectrum of interpretation between 4 or 5 people. It takes too long. It's not clear and obvious. That's my whole point. As part of ongoing dialogue with supporters, Premier League research indicates fans are largely in favour of keeping VAR but improving the way it is used. This remains a priority for both the Premier League and PGMO, and the league will continue to engage with all stakeholders to build on the progress made through the VAR improvement plan. I genuinely have no idea what that means. That makes no sense to me whatsoever at all, and I just have a feeling that the Premier League are just burying their head in the sand. We have seen time and time again across multiple matches this season that VAR in its current form is not working. It ruins the match day experience. Referees are scared to make decisions. It's clear to see. Referees don't know what decision to make now. They're hoping that they're going to get bailed out by VAR, and when VAR doesn't, they're made to look like absolute idiots, just like what happened when Goodmanson was sent off, because the ref was like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. And quite rightly, it's been turned around and said, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. So the decisions that we've had in a certain number, like for argument's sake, we don't get the handball against Diaz, yet the following week, it's given for a penalty. Exactly the same thing. We don't get the penalty that should have been given to us against Sunderland, where Struijk is pulled down by his throat, yet the week previous, Lacroix from Crystal Palace brushes Cunha's shoulder, and he falls flat on his backside and slides across the floor. Penalty's given. And that's the issue, because it needs to get checked by VAR. So it's the level of consistency. There isn't a level of consistency there. So you, depending on who's there, makes up the decision of what the decision of VAR is going to be. It's a shit show at the moment, and it really, really needs sorting out, in my opinion. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Should we just bin VAR off altogether, or does it need improving, or do there need to be time limits for when they're trying to make if a handball is a handball decision, etc., so on and so forth. All of that type of stuff. What can we do to make it better, or do we just get rid of it altogether? You let me know in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you are hyping the video for me as well. If you're listening on audio, make sure that you're liking the audio for me as well. That would be greatly appreciated. And whilst we're at it, take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourselves. Thank you again for the support, guys. I really, genuinely do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.